more complete would be for everybody to be down here and everybody to be together. Unfortunately, that's not the case at this moment.
Wendy's brother started a YouTube live on the morning of his father's birthday, thanking everyone for the well wishes, but also hinting on the fact that Wendy Williams never showed up to her father's 92nd birthday. To add fuel to the fire he started, Tommy Williams later exclusively told the U.S. Son that his family had a birthday party for their dad and that Wendy was a no-show. He said that his sister's focus never seemed to have gotten back to family and particularly their dad. And that's the travesty in all of this, the TV star's brother said. She's caught up in what everyone else is caught up in, how her life is panning out. Just be a family member, just be a daughter, but I guess she's not going to be either. Tommy said his sister was going to be a show host, although to him being a daughter was a better role considering the fact that their parents did everything for them. That's the painful part of it all, and it is what it is. But it's not slowing his vitality down or his zest for life and joy, he added. Tommy also questioned the status of his sister's supposed podcast, which she's been talking about for nearly a year now. He said, there is still nothing new on the podcast front, so I don't know what her focus is. Everyone has their own choice on how they want to break their bread, and if she never wants to work again, that's fine too. She's in that position. Unlike the 92nd birthday that Wendy missed, last year she was able to celebrate her father's birthday and even shared sweet snapshots of him on Instagram. From the pictures, Thomas sat on a brown sofa and had on a plaid shirt. He smiled while looking over at his daughter with his glasses. Wendy held her father's hand as she sat across from him. In the next snap, the two continued sharing a smile as they went on with their reunion, enjoying it in the most relaxing way possible. It was during the 2022 festivities and Wendy was living in Florida working on her health during her season-long absence from the Wendy Williams show, which was ultimately the end of her iconic TV run. Wendy's brother said that after she felt better and left Florida, she ceased communicating with them. The younger brother spoke to an exclusive interview and said that Wendy hasn't been in communication the way they anticipated. He said that everyone in the family was trying to shrug off her absence, but it was painful when it came to their father. He said he thought it necessary for Wendy to see her father or just let him know how she's doing since he was already in his 90s, and as much as he was still in great shape, Wendy was missing out. He claimed it was more painful that Wendy never even communicated during the month of their mother's passing, which she didn't attend by the way, and knows she is missing out on progressing her relationship with her father. Tommy added, we'll see what the holidays bring. If a sporadic trip to Florida pops up, fantastic, but I imagine that it won't because if she was coming, the normal behavior is to communicate, to let someone know you're coming down for the holidays. Tommy said that he tries not to bring his sister up in conversation with their father as it's become a painful subject. He said he always thinks of Wendy, and while thinking of her, he knew their father thought of her too, and it was more depressing because each time he asked their father whether he'd heard from Wendy, he would say no, and Tommy could see the pain in his eyes. This is the holidays. This is the point where I'm going to be on the attack and lambasting her behavior because the biggest gift my father could have is knowing his daughter is doing okay, or at least what the official status is of Wendy, Wendy's brother said. He said that he was getting frustrated as days went by because Wendy's absence and lack of communication was causing a rift. He claimed she didn't need to say anything or bring any gift. All Wendy had to do was show up and be a family member. It seems Wendy ceased communication with close family members since, according to an article by The Sun, a close family friend claimed that Wendy had stopped communicating with her son Kevin Jr. after returning from her rehabilitation in Malibu. Wendy has not reached out to her son since she left the rehab. While she was in treatment, they were talking, but the minute she got up, the communication stopped. The insider alleged. Wendy's brother seems to enjoy putting his sister on the spotlight because while now he is accusing her of abandoning their father, he once accused her of not attending her own mother's funeral. Wendy Williams' mother, Shirley Williams, passed away in 2020, which Wendy openly spoke about on The Wendy Williams Show. As the family continued to grieve, her brother revealed that Williams didn't attend their mother's funeral, but her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, did. Tommy said, my mother always said stand by your family and your sisters, but what makes somebody not go to their mother's funeral? I don't understand not giving a salute to the one person who was always there and showed you support. He claimed he didn't understand how a person could not go to a funeral and hold up the one person or the family member that they had or the parent that they have left and just move on. It seems Wendy Williams attended her mother's wake with her son Kevin Jr., but decided to not attend the funeral. Tommy alleged that Wendy had told him she would be leaving the day of her mother's funeral, but instead stayed in town and had lunch with her ex Kevin Hunter. Williams also expressed appreciation to Hunter for attending his mother's funeral. Despite the pain Hunter caused Williams' sister, he said there are no hard feelings between them. He claimed he appreciated the fact that Wendy's ex Kevin came out to support the family. He said there's no malice that he harbored for the guy, and as much as Hunter had made a poor choice with his sister, he still appreciated him for coming to his mother's funeral. Despite all the accusations being thrown Wendy's way from her brother, we all know that it has been a very rough couple of years for Wendy ever since she divorced her ex-husband Kevin. Wendy officially lost her iconic daytime talk show and even had a financial guardian taking control of her finances following a myriad of health issues. Wendy also checked into rehab for severe alcohol use in Malibu and was away for 2 months taking care of her addiction problem. Wendy also went through a financial crisis when Wells Fargo froze her accounts in January and noted in case filings that they suspected Wendy was the victim of financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence. She couldn't even pay her own employees, and when she took the matter to court, she ended up having a permanent financial guardian who was in control of her assets called Sabrina Morrissey. Wendy's son Kevin Hunter Jr. has alluded to the guardian's tight control on his mom's money when he was evicted from his luxury apartment after his mother's finances were frozen, leaving him unable to keep up with his steep $6,800 monthly rent. One source close to the situation told the U.S. Sun that Kevin Jr. was not enrolled in college in the spring, and that in part impacted his ability to access certain funds that were earmarked by Wendy to assist in his schooling. It seems the guardian reasoned that if the 22-year-old boy was not enrolled in school, he could get a job. Wendy seems to have more control of her finances now, and despite all that she has been going through, it seems like she is trying to get her life back on track because she has claimed she will be hosting a podcast. Wendy appeared at a local New York radio station WBLS event and told the audience at that time that the Wendy Experience podcast would launch in the next few weeks. However, in response to a comment call, Wendy's publicist told the U.S. Sun that they wouldn't give a time frame and would only say it's coming soon. The publicist added that Wendy's podcast was coming to life and was in its planning stage. Wendy is enthused to get out there and is building a product that is precise and exemplifies her and the needs of her fan base. All good things take time. To her brother and family that is expecting so much from her, instead of waiting for Wendy to show up when she is still trying to heal, they can either give her time to reach out to them or they could reach out to her themselves. A fan on Twitter said, Wendy Williams' brother can't just pick up the phone and call her. Why does he keep making videos to address her? Another said, Wendy Williams' brother is trying to get famous off of her name and he's using their mother's debt to do it SMHH. Wendy's brother had in his Instagram bio Wendy Williams' brother. Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Guys,